Hi, I'm Stuart. Welcome to Sirennet Television. We have a variety of Sirennet brand product on the website, and one area that's definitely worth checking out is in our scene light area on the website. The particular product that Chris is going to be taking apart today, well, not necessarily taking apart, but explaining you the functionality of the particular item in question, is the SN-SL3, and I'm going to hand it over to Chris.
Well, thank you, Stuart. Actually, I am going to take it apart, but that's not something I told you earlier, so little surprise, surprise there. I'm sure plenty of people have seen these in action out in the field lighting stuff up, but you haven't seen it the way I'm going to show it to you here. From the front end, it looks like a 6-inch sealed beam LED light head. Well, the fun thing, like all that we do here on Sirennet Television, it comes apart so you can see how it's put together. And best part, you can see the diodes inside in their entirety and how they're assembled onto the electronics board that makes them work. On the back end here, Gore-Tex breather in the center for air travel, post here for the ground, post here for the lead connection inside your spotlight. Around the edges, we have 4 Phillips head screws. So to start the process, those are coming out. The 4 small screws that I've just removed, they're stainless steel, and around the top, there's a green epoxy coating. This helps to lock the top of the screw into the back cast housing so it keeps grime, condensation from getting in a hole position where the unit is joined together. I can now spin the unit around, just breaking the seal between the cast backing and the front polycarbonate lens. You can see it's a one piece. There's no optics here. All the optics are done inside the light head itself. So should you ever need to replace an outer lens, say a big rock flies up from the freeway, or it's a stormy night and a tree branch comes down, knocks the unit, well, if it puts a crack in this or a big scratch, you can see comes right off for easy replacement. Also incorporated is a weather seal band here. So again, when this is screwed onto the cast housing, locks it all together. So very, very well thought out from an engineering standpoint. Inside the unit, you can see polycarbonate optic portion that's screwed in to the cast base. This is removable as well. So I'll go ahead, change from a small Phillips bit to a small Torx head, and continue the process, removing screws. Looks like all of them. So now I can remove the optic portion here. So if we can get a close-up from the side, you can see that it is a deep dished optic. So with that, you can see from the back here, it has a narrow cone profile, which widens to a different cone, wider portion. It's got a center inset, which is like a dimple. So what that does is it takes the diode potency, goes into the bottom of the dimple, which is highly polished, and then the dimple spreads it out into the wider cone optic here. So you take the diode small intensity that's generated, and then you broaden it with the optic. So that's how you take this and get that nice, tight 8-degree beam that gives you that really nice illumination at distance or on a traffic stop. Give you an inside view here. So really, you see these in the field, like I said, lighting up the scene, telephone pole, on a tow truck, fire apparatus, PD applications, but you don't see it from this view. See, it's an epoxy-coated unit. Everything's soldered into place, so there's nothing to wiggle loose, nothing to vibrate out of place, nice rough and tumble unit here. So any application you can throw at this, it'll definitely withstand it. Little fun thing here, before I put it back together, I'm gonna put a set of alligator clips on the back here, put 12 volts to it, and light it up without the optics. That way you can really just see what it looks like without any of this being added to it. So black post is the ground. Post here is the lead. So black, non-black, easy to follow for your install. And go ahead. Maybe I shouldn't point it right at the camera. Let's start with it down here. Turn it on. Probably gonna get blinded out, so sorry about that. You can see it's really just a great big huge wash of light. Spin it around. You can see it's almost like a house bulb. So it just gives you a big sphere of light. There's no tight beam or intensity point on it. Well, once these go back on, that's where the diode gets its tightening of the beam spread and gives you that nice distance. And also, if you have tinted windows that you're trying to light up, gives you that white illumination intensity to go right through tint. So really nice with that as well. Go ahead, take the 12 volts away. Go ahead, take the optic portion here. Gonna take just a moment, get it repositioned. Now with it repositioned, I'll go ahead, tighten the screws back in. Just so I get a nice proper tightening, I'm gonna start from the inside and work my way out. Back together, as you can see, nice and tightened down, so very well held into place. Outer polycarbonate lens, get that realigned here. Give it a nice little squish, get it reseated on there. And actually what's neat is in seating it, you can kind of hear, well, in my case, I can feel it and kind of hear it. You probably won't see it on the camera, but when I just tighten this, when it compresses, air escapes from the bottom here. So as part of the Gore-Tex breather for this light and other ones like it, it's a really great benefit. That way you can get extra air out of the unit, also heat as well. And speaking of heat, the cast backing here is the heat sink for this unit. So now go ahead. That won't quite work. Phillips head bit, put it back together here. Nice thing with the Sirennet LED spotlight heads, there's no UV output. So if you're using them where there's a lot of bugs, when you turn it on, no moths, no mosquitoes, nothing's gonna be attracted to it. So that's another nice benefit that you gain with LED. Back together, screws retightened in. You can see the green bead of epoxy seats the screw in here. So again, with the hole going from the back into the lens here, there's not a potential for grime or moisture to get through in this point here. Go ahead. Get the 12 volt clips out again. So now, spin it past the camera really quick here. When I turn it around, you can see with the optics back in the unit, the beam has gotten much tighter. So again, this one with our SL3, it's an 8-degree beam. Doesn't look like it here, but if I got more distance between the head here and a backing, you're going to see that the circle will gain in its size. You can kind of even see just moving it back here a little bit, about a foot, it gains in its diameter. So you figure if you're lighting up something 40, 60 yards down the roadway, it's going to give you a nice beam. Or in a case of a traffic stop, when you're behind the vehicle, it'll definitely go right through the back window. You'll see to the left, see to the right. Most importantly, with the intensity it offers, if you have folks that have tinted windows, it'll assist penetrating the tint. It's very nice, very useful, well constructed, very durable. Should you ever need to replace any component, like I mentioned, if the lens here were to get damaged, severe weather condition, big rock, what have you, it's easy to take off, easy to replace. That way, you don't have to get a whole new replacement head when you just have a lens that may be the only part needing to be replaced. Well, there you have it. Another view of the Sirennet SN SL3. Back to you, Stuart.
Well, thanks, Chris. Greatly appreciated that. And to all of you, thanks for watching Sirennet Television. Take care.